Good afternoon, everyone. This is my first live this year, so it's going to be a little bit workaround. Let me know if you guys can hear me, if there's any issues. So today I want to talk about strategies that can get you a 6 level payout at the end of the month. We're talking about options trading, we're talking about swing trading, and I'm going to talk about one of my mentees that made this amount. All the profit screenshots are on my Instagram. I'm going to talk about a little bit about their profile. I'm going to talk about what they did, and then I'm going to go over some charts and show you exactly what kind of setups you need to take. It's very simple. It's not easy. So we're going to start this right here. All right. So if you're new here, my name's Mo. I'm a full-time options trader and an educator. I've helped over 5,000 students become profitable traders. In this video, I'm going to be breaking down simple, repeatable, and profitable strategy that I helped my student implement so they could see $150,000 in trading profits in a single month. Now, I've told you guys it's simple, but it's not easy. So there's a bunch of factors that you have to look at, and we're going to go over all of them. I'm going to talk about 4 things that can actually help you strategically get there. Now, first thing, I'm going to go over the profile of the client, and I'm going to tell you exactly what their portfolio size was, because a lot of people hear the 6-figure amount, but they don't factor in trading experience, trading capital, risk tolerance, if they're day trading or swing trading. So I'll go over that. And a lot of people are going to think that's a big amount that this individual started with, but actually on the contrary, a very small amount compared to how much they make. So this client works a full-time job. They do anywhere from 40 to 50 hours. Their trading amount was $20,000 for options. So they have a massive stock account of close to 300K, but for options, since we're only talking about options today, they started the account with $20,000, and it took them, I would say, about 6 months to go. And when I say to go, I don't mean like in total. They made $150,000 in a single month. I've posted the profit screenshot on the Instagram, so you can go look at my Instagram. It's called I am Mo Suri. Now, this person took 4 trades that month. Every single trade was a swing trade. They don't day trade because they don't have time. Every single trade was a month to 2 months out. The key part here is risk reward, which I'm going to go in terms of charts and show you guys what I mean by that. The only trades they took had a risk reward of 1 to 3. The biggest money they made in that month was $73,000 on MSTR, MicroStrategy. We bought calls when it was around 280, sold it around when it was 500. It was about a 1,500% return on that trade. So let's go over what I mean by a risk reward. So I'm going to share my screen here. Bear with me. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you an example of one of the trades I'm in. I'm going to show you this is the only trade they're taking. So if they're only taking 4 trades a month, all 4 have to be like this, or they won't take the trade. So the chart we're looking at is Palantir. If you guys know how I trade, I'm always looking at long-term setup. Because this person works so much, they have client meetings, they can't be trading all the time. So they were buying a lot of time. So I'm going to give you an example of what kind of trades they were taking. So this is one of the things that you have to watch out for. So this is the chart for Palantir. If you could see, there is a resistance right here. There is a gap fill if this breaks right here. So essentially that you have this in front of you. I am looking to short the stock. So if I'm shorting the stock, what I'm looking for is my levels of profit taking. I'm going to take this out because I would use this yellow line as a stop. So this is one of the levels I'd watch out for. The second level I would watch out for 85.37. Third would be this right here. Now, if I was to short this stock, this would be my entry, let's say. And I'll do a stop somewhere around, let's say here, 99. Okay. So I'm going to color my entry yellow. Here would be my profit taking. I'm going to color all of that in green. I'm about to show you something that I think a lot of people sort of know, but they don't see it when they're taking trades. This is pretty much all my trades. They look like this or I don't take them. So watch this. Let's say we're going to use their accounts as an example. So let's say you have a $20,000 account. If I had a $20,000 account, I know I'm only going to take 4 trades, probably looking at a position size of $5,000 on this trade. This is my entry. This is my stop. This is my profit taking. Now that we have this, I'm going to show you how to calculate risk reward. So what we do then is, this is trading view, go on short position because we're trying to buy puts here. So I'm going to calculate the risk reward on this trade based off of just my first level of profit taking. So based off just that, I'm going to zoom in so I can show you the risk reward on this trade is 1 to 4, meaning if I'm right, I'm going to make $4. If I'm wrong, I'm going to lose. This is based on just the first level of profit taking. So if I put in 5K here and this ends up going here, you're looking at a profit of roughly around about a month out, 150%. If we end up going all the way to 78, I think it goes a lot lower. But if we end up going to, let's say, $78 on this, you're looking at about a 500% return on this trade. But if it doesn't work out, 100 is essentially my exit, 9,900. You only need one of these trades a month to hit 10, 20K. Now, what ends up happening is when you take these kind of trades, and if this is the only kind of trades you take, what end up happening is as your position size grows, like remember what I told you, they started their account with $20,000 and then in a single month they made 150K. This is not an accumulation of 5 months. Single month led them to 20K to 150, because I get every one of my clients to reset their account. So at any point, it's never going to be their account is 20K, then 100K, then 200. No, it gets reset. It might now go back to, so I'll give you an example. Let's say you started on January 1st at $20,000. January 31st, you have 100K, for instance. I would highly recommend going to 20K, but if you're like, you know what, I can handle a bigger round, go 40, 50. So there's always profits being taken out of the account. So these are the kind of trades you want to take. Now, the problem with these kind of trades is, this is big. You have to find them. They're not always easy to find, especially in this market. It's hard to find. So when I do find it, I watch it. So I'll tell you how I'm taking this trade. Right now, I've only put a small size on this trade because the biggest move in this market are happening overnight. So I don't want to miss this trade. So I put in a small amount that I'm okay losing 50%. So I'll give you an example. If I had a $20,000 account, I would throw in $500 on this trade or $1,000, again, with time, so I can watch the premiums. I want to make sure I'm in. Once I find out, okay, this is exactly where I want to go, that's where I'm going to go on a bigger size, which I called a core position, but 5,000. Now imagine if this was the only trade you took and it ends up working for you, all levels. This, in my opinion, goes to about 5 to 25. So 5,000 goes to $25,000. Now, I know how a lot of people are thinking right now. You're probably thinking, well, 500% is a lot of money, doesn't really happen. I agree. It's because most of the trades that most people are taking right now, even when they're right, aren't making them that much money. And when they're wrong, they're losing more than they're making. So then their success rate doesn't matter. So this trade is very hard to find. I'm being completely transparent. I don't find trades like this often. This trade, if you look at this trade here, we're looking at a daily chart, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 candles. In the last 7 days, this trade has gone up by 46.63%. I want to make sure it's daily. So I'll repeat again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 days. This trade has gone, this stock has gone up by 46.63%. Tell me what's changed in the economy for this trade to go up 46% in 6 days. This trade is back to its level before the tariffs even kicked in. Nothing's changed. And so I want you to hold that thought. The second thought I want you to think about is, hold on, let me draw this so I can explain it to you, because I know a lot of people focus on technical analysis way too much. Okay, so you bought here, you are profitable. I want you to think people that bought this stock at this quadrant, so anything over 89 to 97, if this has a drop here, these guys are all bag holding. These people are still a little bit in profit, so it's going to cause more fear. That's what I want you to think. These stocks, they're alpha stocks. They go up fast, they go down fast. So this is the stuff that I like to play. It's high risk if you don't know where your stop is. It's high risk if you're not buying enough time for yourself. It's also high risk if you're not position sizing properly. So this is one of the most important things that I watch out for and that I teach people that don't have time and they're swing trading. You got to trade less. Can't be in this market. Guess how many trades I've taken today? 0. I added next week puts on Palantir for $500 on a $20,000. Actually, that was, I also added on a 3K account that I took to 6K in a week, 500. The moment it was down 50%, I cut it because I don't want to be trading in this chop. So losing $250 is better than taking the trade down to 0. This is the kind of trade you want to take. This is what I call an A+ setup. There's a lot of flow on this. There still is a lot of flow. Let me stop sharing and show you the flow. Give me 1 second. Hopefully my brokerage is still up. Okay, it is. So I'm going to share my brokerage with you guys. Give me 1 second. Bear with me. It's been a while since I've done YouTube, so let's do this. All right, so we're going to go to Palantir. So look at this, 17,000 OI on these, 65 on 12,000, sorry, 65 puts have 13,000. Now I'm telling you right now, these puts are probably going to 0 because they're down a lot. Like the 60 put, we had it. These went from, I got this at 50. We sold them around 250. These are at 0.101 and they're still bag holding this. So a lot of puts were in this week are going to lose a lot of money, which is we're seeing why we're seeing a slow and gradual move in the market. And the reason why that's happening is all these puts are getting closed down or they're losing delta, which causes the market to go up. Historically, short weeks rally, which is why I'm being very careful and I'm buying time. I'm not touching anything this month now. I'm probably going to go May. After this week, I'll see how the market is. But this is one of the key things that I think going to help you make a lot of money. But the problem is these trades are hard to find. I'm going to stop sharing for a second here. These trades are hard to find, but when you do find them, you need to position size appropriately on them, because if you don't, what's going to end up happening is if you're too heavy and they fail, what's going to happen is you're going to get emotional. If you're too small, you're not going to bear the result. So that's one of the things. A+ setups. What's A+ setup? It has the chart. I showed you Palantir has the chart. It had the flow. They added 97 puts for next month, probably 15 minutes ago. Not a big size, about 200K on this. Small for Palantir. I want to see much bigger. I saw 20 million this month when we made about 400% on this trade. So that's one thing. Then you want to see the market structure. It still looks weak. And I want to talk about this with you guys. I want you to ignore all the noise, including bearish, because just because you're in a bearish position doesn't make any sense that you don't look at the bullish side. So one of the ways you think different to make that kind of money is you look at the market environment. If the market environment is bad, doesn't matter if there's an A+ setup, double A+ setup, it doesn't matter. Because look, you could buy puts yesterday and you'd be down for next week. If you added a big size, be down 50%. even though it has the head and shoulder pattern. I posted all that on Instagram. It doesn't matter because the market environment isn't good. Couple of things. What happens in a short week? Most big funds, most institutional traders are gone on vacation. So the market doesn't do much on low volume, usually ends up going up. So that's what we wait for. Now, so big part here is taking less trades. Apart from taking A+ trades, taking less trades if the market environment isn't good. Third thing I want you to think about is, why am I bearish? Why is the market bearish? We went from having no tariffs at all, zero, to then saying China is going to get tariffed 145%. Markets all sold off. Palantir went to 66. Then we go, okay, you know what? We're not doing 145%. We'll do 20%. Market celebrates that, and now we're going up. I want you to think about something. If I came to you and said, hey, starting today, I'm going to start charging you tax. I'm going to charge you 100%, let's say. I don't, it's not practical, but let's say I charge 100%. And you go, okay, you start panicking. And then I'm like, you know what? Don't worry about it. I'll only charge you 20%. You'll get excited, but at the end of the month, you're still getting paid less than what you were initially. So Palantir, I'm using this as an example because this is the only chart I'm going through, is back to the levels before tariff even existed. They haven't factored in the 20%. The market never ever factored 145% to be a real tariff, because that makes no sense. Most of everything you guys order from Amazon comes from China. Could you imagine 145% tax on everything that you ordered? Forget inflation, forget anything. You're going to have a full-blown recession. Inflation will be back. Companies will close. People will get laid off. Crime will go up. So no one factored that. People knew something's going to come out of it, but people wanted to wait. So there's a level of uncertainty. These people that chase this market here, whenever we have a small pullback, it'll be followed by a panic sell that we saw about a week ago. And this is what you have to be careful. So you trade less. There's only one ticker that I've traded in the last 4 weeks, and it's been Palantir. Because I understand how it is, understand how it trades, and I've probably accumulated around 1,000% return on it with 4 or 5 different trades. So I'm going to recap so people are following along. Once you're trading, most people focus on technical analysis. The first thing you need to focus on is your position size. In this case, this mentee's position size with 20K. Then you need to focus on your trading style. In this case, they were swing trading. I don't think I would day trade ever again unless the market changes and I have to do it for a short term, which I do all the time. Swing trading will make you the most amount of money. I have videos posted of what the overall net gain is in the market if you swing trade versus day trade. I think it's 45% or something for day trading and like 39,000% or something insane for swing trading for the market, not for me. So I prefer swing trading. The third thing I would look at market environment. You can find A+ setups, but if there's no market environment, then you need to stay cash. So I'll give you an example. I took a 3K account to 6K. Then I took a couple of shots at these Palantir puts, lost $1,000 on it. Now I'm at 5K. I don't see a trade. I'm waiting for one good trade to come where I can do a $2,000 to $4,000 position. And that's it. That's all I do. If you take, let's say, a $3,000 account to, let's say, 6K, I make another 1,000 end of this month. That's not bad. That's $3,000 a month for a small account, 100% return. But I could possibly make 10 out of that depending on the market environment. The third thing is, and this is what a lot of people struggle with, sometimes when you work a job in one that requires a lot of hours to be put in, even if you want to, you don't micromanage your trade. For me, I'm going to zoom in here. If it gets to this position, I may sell half my contracts. If I, let's say, added 10 contracts, I'll sell 5 here. Most people will probably be left with 1 contract by the time because they're too scared of a bounce. If you take less trades, sometimes you'll micromanage it. I preset everything. So let's talk about it. Let's say if I have 10 trades, okay, these are my levels. I'll tell you my extreme case. I think it happens by next month. I think we retest the bottom, but let's say I have 10 contracts. I'm gonna show you guys. I would sell 3 here, 3 here. We're at 6, 2 here, and 2 here. Now, I have this set already because once I'm in, I'm gonna panic like everyone else. Oh, it'll bounce, this happened, that happened. By this time, if we hit this level, your trade should be more than free. Okay. Once we get to this level, you're gonna have the urge to sell all, which is fine. You could sell 3 here, you could sell 4, you could figure out how you want to do this, but that's how I have it leveled. Once you hit a core play, you need to strategize how you're going to take profits. Success rate is irrelevant in trading. I can show you people that have success rate under 50, but they are outperforming everyone with over a success rate of 80%, because when they find a winner, they see one, they'll make sure that they make the most out of it. And so that's another thing. You need to learn how to scale, especially if you want to make a lot of money, especially if you have a bigger account. Now, if you are trading with $500 and you can only afford 3 contracts, I completely get that you sold here, but you don't have enough, right? If you don't have enough, you can't, there's not much to hold there. So that's a huge one. You need to learn how to scale. The next one is mindset. And I'll tell you where it's going to be important. When you are trading few trades, a lot of times your trades might not move and others will, and you're going to have the urge to sell yours or add more other trades. And that's how you get into over trading. That's where I'm going to tell you to be extremely, extremely cautious and not do that. Make your mindset as such that you're following a process versus following profits. When I'm displaying these options, you can make 5 to 25K. It does excite a lot of people, but I also want you to look at the other side. If you're wrong, how much you're going to lose. If I put a 5K position here and we get stopped out, I'm going to lose about 20 to 30% that's about 1,500 to a grand. If I was to go for a bigger position, I'm using 5K on a 20K account. On a 5K account, 2,000 would be the most I would put, because that's a pretty big position. On a 100K account, it would be about 10 to 15K. Don't focus on the amount, focus on the percent. So when you're taking a trade, don't always look at the bright side, look at all the dark side too. What's your predefined loss? The last thing I want you to understand that's going to really, truly help you is understand what's the difference between, when you're running trading as a business, what's the difference between expenses and losses. So when you take a trade, you follow the plan and you get stopped out, that's cost of doing the business, which is trading. And when you do business, there's going to be expenses. That's an expense. If you take a random trade and get stopped out, that's an actual loss because you didn't follow a plan. So if you want to exponentially grow your account, if you stick to the process, it might take 2 months, might take 6 months, might take a year, you'll get there. If you don't, you're going to have something called, this is mentioned in the book called Trading in the Zone. These sort of traders are called boom and burst. They make a lot of money, they give it back. They make a lot of money, they give back. A lot of people think that there's a lot of people that lose. There's not. 60% of traders are called boom and burst. They'll make money and give back. People that are always losing, they end up quitting because they're always losing. People that make and lose, they are the ones that stay in the game. So they burn out of all their capital eventually, and they burn out all their mental capital, which is they lose all their confidence. If they lack accountability, they're going to blame the market. They're going to blame manipulation, all that stuff. Don't do that. So this is what makes someone who's made 150, 100K, they're not actually watching the process. They're following the process to the T. And so I'm going to recap one more time because I know I've covered a lot of things. Look at your trading account. Identify what your tolerance is. Look at your position size. Ask yourself what your position size is going to be. Now, one thing I don't recommend anyone is having different position sizes. So, oh, I love this trade, I'm going to do 5K. Oh, I don't really like this trade, I'll do 1K. that's going to ruin your trading strategy because you'll get emotional when a 5K trade goes against you. Figure out if you're a day trader or swing trader. I would prefer swing trading over day trading any given day. Figure out what's your core setup. That's the one setup that you're going to take. You don't need 10 setup. You only need one. You keep taking those trades 100 to 150 times and keep perfecting back testing those. Next thing is figure out, once you have a winning trade, how you can maximize the most out of it. If someone tells you I'm going to make 500%, they're not telling you they're going to make 500% on the overall trade because they're scaling out. Figure out how you're going to do the scaling out before you get in the trade. Next thing, always look at how much you're going to lose when you're wrong rather than how much you're going to make when you're right. Last thing, most crucial, keep your mindset straight. Don't compare. Don't look at what other trades are doing. Don't look at what other traders are doing. And more importantly, focus on the process. So this is what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to try doing more of these lives. I know I should have given people more notice, but this is my first time doing it. I'll probably do another one next week. If you guys like what I'm doing, if you like the content, make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you guys share, make sure you guys like, and I'll be doing more of this. As always, thank you, and make sure you guys follow me for more.